Markhor. The Markhor? It's a species of wild goat native to the Himalayan mountains in Asia. The Markhor is known for its impressive, spiral-shaped horns and unique appearance, with a shaggy coat of fur and long, bushy beard. They are considered a flagship species for conservation efforts in their native range and are revered by many cultures in the region. Markhor are an important source of food and income for local communities, and are hunted for their meat and horns, which are used in traditional medicine and as a symbol of status. Conservation efforts have helped to stabilize the population of Markhor in recent years, but they are still considered an endangered species and face threats from habitat loss and overhunting. The lifespan of a Markhor in the wild is typically around 12 to 14 years. In captivity, with proper care and management, they can live up to 18 years or longer. The lifespan of a Markhor is influenced by various factors, such as genetics, nutrition, disease, and predation, as well as human-related threats like habitat destruction and overhunting. To ensure the survival of this species, it is important to protect and conserve their habitats and implement effective wildlife management practices that balance the needs of the animals with those of local communities. Markhor are social animals and live in herds of 10 to 20 individuals, led by a dominant male. They are primarily active during the day, and feed on a variety of plants, including grasses, leaves, and shoots. During the breeding season, males will compete for the attention of females and engage in dramatic, spiraled horn displays to establish dominance and secure mates. These displays can be quite violent, but typically result in little physical harm to the participants. Markhor are known for their agility and sure-footedness, which enables them to navigate the steep, rocky terrain of their mountainous habitats with ease. They are also strong swimmers and are capable of crossing rivers and streams in search of food and water. In terms of behavior, Markhor are generally shy and wary of humans, but their curious nature may lead them to approach people out of interest. It's important for humans to respect their wild nature and give them space, as close encounters can be dangerous for both the animal and the person. Here are some interesting facts about the life of Markhor. 1. Unique horns. Markhor have unique, corkscrew-shaped horns that can grow up to 1 meter in length. These horns are used by males to establish dominance and attract mates, as well as for defense against predators. 2. Habitat. Markhor live in the remote, mountainous regions of Central Asia, including Afghanistan, Pakistan, and northern India. They are well adapted to the harsh, high-altitude environment and are able to find food and shelter even in the harshest conditions. 3. Social structure. Markhor live in herds led by a dominant male, with females and young forming the majority of the group. Herd sizes can vary from 10 to 20 individuals, and are dynamic, with members coming and going depending on the time of year and availability of resources. 4. Feeding habits. Markhor are herbivores and feed on a variety of plants, including grasses, leaves, and shoots. They are known to be opportunistic feeders, and will switch to new food sources when their preferred plants are scarce. 5. Breeding. Markhor breed in the winter months, and females give birth to a single offspring, known as a kid. The young are born fully developed and able to walk and run within a few hours of birth, allowing them to keep pace with their mothers as they search for food and water. 6. Conservation status. Markhor are considered an endangered species, with their populations threatened by habitat destruction, overhunting, and competition with domestic livestock for resources. Conservation efforts, including protected areas and community-based wildlife management programs, have helped to stabilize the population in recent years, but continued efforts are needed to ensure the long-term survival of this unique and iconic species. The diet of Markhor consists primarily of grasses, leaves, and shoots of various vegetation, and they are known to be opportunistic feeders, switching to new food sources when their preferred plants are scarce. In their native range, they can be found feeding on a variety of plants, including juniper, willow, and various species of shrubs and herbs. Markhor are able to survive in harsh, high-altitude environments by being flexible in their feeding habits and being able to find food and water even in challenging conditions. Their strong, agile bodies and sure-footedness also help them to navigate steep, rocky terrain in search of food and water. It's important to note that the diet of Markhor can vary depending on their location and the availability of food, as well as the time of year. For example, During the winter months when vegetation is scarce, they may feed on woody plants or bark, while in the summer they may switch to a diet of grasses and leaves. Markhor mating occurs during the winter months, usually from December to February. During this time, males will compete for the attention of females and engage in dramatic, spiraled horn displays to establish dominance and secure mates. These displays can be quite violent, but typically result in little physical harm to the participants. Once a male has secured a mate, he will mate with her several times over the course of several days to ensure that she becomes pregnant. After mating, the female will give birth to a single offspring, known as a kid, after a gestation period of approximately 170 days. The young are born fully developed and able to walk and run within a few hours of birth, allowing them to keep pace with their mothers as they search for food and water. It's important to note that the breeding behavior of Markhor can vary depending on their location and the availability of food and other resources. In areas where resources are scarce, males may have a harder time establishing dominance and securing mates, while in areas with abundant resources, breeding may be more successful.